Because I dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing, crestfallen on the land in champagne problems.
Because I dropped your hand while dancing. First thing I think of, and I know you're all going to get mad at me, but it's okay. First thing I think of is that she got mad at him for dropping her hand during dinner in the All Too Well video.
You dropped my fucking hand! What am I supposed to do with that?
There's something in the imagery of dropping somebody's hand, the importance of that, the metaphor of that she likes to discuss. Maybe this is a bookend with that. Maybe we're talking about the same relationship. Some people just like certain imagery. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's connected to this other song or that it has a secret hidden meaning. It could just mean that, like, I dropped your hand. Maybe she did it on purpose. Maybe she's like, I was done with you, bro. We were out there dancing, and I had enough, and I said, F it. Where are we here?
Raise a glass, raise your hands with me.
Have you seen this film? It reminds me of wandering the avenues, and I'm washing my hands of attachments, yeah, and I land on the ground. One thing I'm missing. It's in your eyes, 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 in your eyes. That was a song by Rogue Wave called Eyes, or In Your Eyes, or something like that. Good to be back. Good to be here, everybody. How's everybody doing? I'm fine. I hope you are too. Now, we are jumping into track 2 of the Evermore album. Now, I was pleasantly surprised last week when I did my Grammys video to see that this album is actually nominated for Album of the Year. And I kind of was told, and this has apparently been wrong, that, like, Evermore was kind of an afterthought. Like Folklore was the main album, and then Evermore was the one that was kind of not as big. But for the last couple weeks, from what I've been gleaning and gathering, the 2 G's, is that apparently people adore this album, and some people find this to be the stronger album. I don't know. I'm not saying we even need to compare the albums. I was just pleasantly surprised to find out that this is in fact not like a secondary whatever kind of add-on album. This is its own of-a-piece, single idea album. And we are jumping into the second track, the get 'em in track, you know? I mean, you get 'em in with the first track, but you really make sure you got 'em with that second track. So you always want to have a good song in the second track, okay? A lot of people will skip that first track and go right to the second one. That may or may not be true. All right, so we have Champagne Problems. Now, Champagne Problems sounds like a hip-hop tune, like a double album set put out by like Jay-Z in 2007 or something. It has a very kind of hip-hop feel. Maybe this will be a hip-hoppy song. Hip-hoppy song. It's officially the whitest thing I've ever said. Here we go. Oh, and we're watching the lyric video first, and then I'll watch the actual video for my patrons. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Like and subscribe, please. Thank you.
You booked the night train for a reason, so you could sit there in this herd. Bustling crowds or silent sleepers, you're not sure which is worse. Because I dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing, crestfallen on the land in champagne problems. Your mom's ring in your pocket, my picture in your wallet. Your heart was glass, I dropped it, champagne problems. told your family for a reason. You couldn't keep it in. Your sister splashed out on the bottle. Now no one's celebrating. Dom Perignon, you brought it. No crowd of friends applauded. Your hometown skeptics called it champagne problems. You had a speech, you're speechless. Love slipped beyond your reaches, and I couldn't give a reason. Champagne problems.
Okay, wow. Different kind of song. So, initial thoughts. We're in a pretty standard chord change. We're in, I think, a 1, 4, 5, 6. C, A minor, F, right? So things that leap out at me right away are the simplicity of the chorus. One thing that almost every A&R person will tell you, or every kind of wannabe A&R person will tell you, is you need a big chorus. You need a big, repeatable chorus. This chorus seems almost as non-existent as it could be. She's just saying champagne problems at the bottom of her register. The rest of the song is sung up higher. It's much more kind of mellifluous and floaty, and then the grounded champagne problems. I like that idea. It's very simple. It's just her on a piano. It seems like a very sad song. It almost feels like you're on a train going home. You booked the night train for a reason, so you could sit there in this hurt. That's a really specific kind of emotion or kind of accusation to invoke. And yes, normally I use the microfiber towel, but I just don't want to have one near me right now. The night train for a reason. You sit there in this hurt. We all know what that's like. You just want to sulk. You just want to be sad for a little while. You just want to just be angry and be upset. And you don't want to feel better for whatever reason. You want to just sit there and kind of mope and feel sorry for yourself for a little while. It is interesting, though, because she's speaking to this person as if she has access to their inner intentions, that she understands why they're doing these things. So Silent Sleepers makes it sound, I think that's the train type. I don't take the train that much anymore, but it's like you get on a train and it's a silent sleep car. Or would you rather be in a bustling crowd? So this person is obviously just kind of agoraphobic and claustrophobic. Because I dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing, crestfallen on the landing, champagne problems. Okay. We just slipped the chorus into the end of that verse. Because I dropped your hand while dancing. First thing I think of, and I know you're all going to get mad at me, but it's okay. First thing I think of is that she got mad at him for dropping her hand during dinner in the All Too Well video.
You dropped my fucking hand! What am I supposed to do with that?
There's something in the imagery of dropping somebody's hand, the importance of that, the metaphor of that she likes to discuss. Maybe this is a bookend with that. Maybe we're talking about the same relationship. Maybe we're invoking that song in that relationship. Okay, and some people just like certain imagery. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's connected to this other song or that it has a secret hidden meaning. It could just mean that, like, I dropped your hand. Maybe she did it on purpose. Maybe she's like, I was done with you, bro. We were out there dancing, and I had enough, and I said, F it. Where are we here? He said, dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing. So she left him out there. Left him out there dancing on the dance floor. Or standing on the dance floor. It's a big move. Everyone can see that. Crestfallen on the landing. Crestfallen meaning he's been shamed, his ego has been hurt. Champagne problems to me just immediately sounds like kind of first world problems, you know. I was at a gathering, I was at a friend's birthday party this weekend, and I was complaining about the fact that I'm what's called misophonic or misophonic, and there's certain sounds that I just really can't hear without getting very, very annoyed. And I never tell people what they are, but I was telling this one group of people, and we were laughing because it's like the most first world problem in the world. It's the most kind of champagne problem in the world, where people in other countries are literally being killed. We have international war happening right now in multiple countries around the world. And I'm worried because every now and then somebody I used to work with ate their salad gross. Now I've told you. This woman, she would like, she'd take the, we'd eat lunch at our desks, and her desk was right behind me, and she'd stab her salad and then put the fork in her mouth and put her teeth on the tines of the fork and then just slide the fork out. So she just like collected the veggies with her mouth, and you just heard slink. You just heard that little bit of metal tine movement on the teeth, and it drove me nuts, man. So she's left him. She said, this is a pretty grand gesture to drop somebody's hand and leave them just in the middle of the room. As much as it's like a champagne problem, which is to say like it's a problem in this kind of rarefied ether that they find themselves in, probably the wealth and celebrity of their life. Your mom's ring in your pocket, my picture in your wallet. Your heart was glass, I dropped it, champagne problems. These aren't not problems. Losing love, having somebody harm you is not, I mean, when I think of champagne problems, I think of like not problems, problems for the very wealthy or the very successful. These do not sound like champagne problems. It's such an interesting kind of dynamic here. She's just like, I just torched you, man. I just let you go hard. You told your family for a reason you couldn't keep it in. Your sister splashed out on the bottle. Now no one's celebrating. It's like she's celebrating this person's remorse over the loss of their relationship. This seems to be somebody that she is very angry with. I get anger here. Even though it's a soft little 1-4-5-6, she sounds a little vindictive, I'll be honest. She sounds a little vindictive here. I'm not saying she is vindictive, and I don't know what this song is about, but just reading it and hearing it for the first time, that's what I'm hearing. You know what, I'm probably being a little bit unfair here, because maybe I'm being a little unfair here, because I'm going to assume that he did something to her that warrants her treating him this way. Especially in this moment, like you're dancing and you drop his hand. Maybe he said something right then and there. It was like the straw that broke the camel's back. You told your family about us. You couldn't keep it in. Your sister splashed out on the bottle. No one's celebrating. Now that I'm gone. It sounds like that's what she's saying. You effed this up. You screwed this whole thing up. And look at the catastrophe that's happened around you. Dom Perignon, you brought it, so you're celebrating yourself. No crowd of friends applauded. Your hometown skeptics called it. Let's say that this is the Gyllenhaal situation. The more I read it and the more I hear it, it seems like the Gyllenhaal situation. She's so mad at him. What's interesting is that there's no preamble. She doesn't tell us in this song what he has done to her, which makes me think, oh, it's because she's told us in previous songs what he has done to her. And so now this is a furthering of that emotional release for her. I'm going to think that. I'm going to just choose not to believe that she's just callously destroying somebody she's dating because she can and she wants to feel her own power. I don't think that's her style, and if she wrote a song about that, that'd be fascinating, but it doesn't seem like her vibe. Let's hear the rest of this song.
You had a speech, you're speechless. Love slipped beyond your reaches, and I couldn't give a reason. Champagne problems.
Some other sounds coming in here. Doesn't sound like a piano to me anymore.
Your Midas touch on the Chevy door, November flush and your flannel cure. This dorm was once a madhouse. I made a joke, well it's made for me. How evergreen our group of friends. Don't think we'll say that word again, and soon they'll have the nerve to deck the halls that we once walked through. One for the money, two for the show. I never was ready, so I watch you go. Sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone's on their knees and asks you. She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's fucked in the head, they said. But you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up your tapestry that I shred and hold your hand while dancing. Never leave you standing, crestfallen on the landing with champagne problems. Your mom's ring in your pocket, her picture in your wallet, and you won't remember all my champagne problems. You won't remember all my champagne problems.
So this is written and written by her and Joe, her boyfriend. I remember his name this time, you guys. I couldn't hear the acoustic, but piano, synth, acoustic, synth bass, all Aaron Dessner, cool. Okay, now second half of the song, I'm like blown away. You had a, now it seems like she was just like in an early relationship and he wanted to go, he was like, you're the one, and she was like going through the motions, and then when he asked her to marry him, she realized in that moment, that's what it sounds like to me, that she realized in that moment that she didn't want to be with him. And I couldn't give a reason. That's what's confusing me here. Just wasn't for me. Just didn't have it. The spark wasn't there. Maybe this is a song of guilt for her. Maybe this is something where she's kind of unburdening herself and, maybe these are her champagne problems. These are her the problems of somebody with wealth, with fame, with, all the stuff that she has. Your Midas touch on the Chevy door, November flush, and your family and your flannel cure. So now this is making me think again of the Chevy thing from the All Too Well. Didn't they have a Chevy in that? And he wore flannel. Midas touch on the Chevy door. Didn't Midas turn things to gold with his fingers, I believe? Oh, maybe he opened the door for her. That's a big one, fellas. Open the door for the ladies. November flush, and there's always something about autumn. She loves the imagery of autumn. This dorm was once a madhouse. Dorm. So maybe this is when it was. She was much younger. She was in college. I mean, that's what happens, kind of. I mean, I know people who got married in college who are still together, and madly enough. And I knew people who got married in college who they did it because they thought it was, sometimes you're in a relationship and you're like, this relationship is stagnating. We need something to liven it up. Why don't we get married? Why don't we have a child? And it's never a good idea to try and spice up your relationship by taking the relationship to the next level. Let the relationship blossom. But it sounds like, to me, what's happening in this song, she was in this relationship, and he's like, this dorm is a madhouse. Well, it's made for me. She's trying to, that way, if somebody likes you and you're trying to make them not like you, you try to, maybe she's, saying, he's like, this dorm was once a madhouse. She's like, yeah, well, I'm a mad, you might want to avoid me. I'm a mad lady. How evergreen our group of friends, do you think we'll ever say that? Don't think we'll say that word again? I guess we'll never say the word friends again. And soon they'll have the nerve to deck the halls that we once walked through. They'll celebrate together, even though we won't be there. 1 for the money, 2 for the show. I never was ready, so I watch you go. Sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone on their knees and asks you. Till someone's on their knees and asks you. So she wasn't sure. She's like, you know what? I don't know if I want to break up with him. I love him. I don't want to marry him. I don't know if I want to spend the rest of my life with him. He wants to spend the rest of his life with me. And I didn't know until he got down on his knees. There's those things on YouTube, a friend of mine loves them. They are I can't watch them. Like somebody getting on their knees and doing like a whole big ceremonial proposal. It's like you see this guy and he's so nervous, and you can tell like the girl just doesn't want to say yes. Oh, it's so effing cringy. You just think like, if you need all that to propose, like maybe she's not going to say. I don't know. I've never proposed, so I'm not gonna opine. She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's fucked in the head. They said. Plenty of brides are fucked in the head. Don't you worry if you're a bride and you're fucked in the head. Many of us out there are fucked in the head and deserve love. But you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up your tapestry that I shred. Oof, that's the worst. You don't want to hear that. Oh, you'll find somebody. You'll find somebody better. You don't want me. You'll find somebody better. And hold your hand while dancing. She'll hold your hand while dancing. Never leave you standing. Crestfallen on the landing with champagne problems. It's interesting because this song has a very unique style to it. It's almost like I don't want to say she's bragging about how much she hurt this person, but it almost kind of sounds like that. I think probably what she's doing is admitting this is something that is guilt, makes her feel a lot of guilt, and she's trying to unburden herself of that guilt. But it comes across interestingly. It may be the fact that she is kind of so known as the marquee superstar woman that it's hard for her to. Maybe this is supposed to be like self-deprecating in a way, and sometimes self-deprecation is a hard thing to read on certain people. Interesting that she wrote this with her boyfriend, with presumably the dude she's going to marry, right? From everything everybody's told me in the comments, everybody likes this just Joe guy, and crazy to write this song with him. You're writing a song about a relationship that just doesn't have what it takes to go to the next level to get married. And they're probably right at that point in the relationship now, whether or not they're deciding whether or not to get married. Whoa, fascinating, but crazy. And I'll be curious to find out if people agree or disagree that this seems to be a song about her being kind of the bad guy. Not saying that she is a bad person at all, but that in this particular instance, she was kind of the bad guy. Guys write songs about that all the time. I mean, that's the history of being, I was the guy, I was the cad, I cheated on you, I treated you poorly. It's a constant theme for singer-songwriters who are men to talk about how crummy they were and please take me back. So it's not a bad thing that she's writing like this, but it is interesting to hear it. And anyway, so that's my read on this very interesting song. Thank you so much, all of you, for checking out today's video. Please consider liking, please consider subscribing. The more people who subscribe, the better off this channel does. Check out my Patreon for my reaction to the music video. And until next time, keep playing.